So in this section, we are going to start working on the actual home page. Let's have a quick look at it now, just to have a quick look. So this is our home page at the moment. There is a couple of things we want to do just so we can have a perfect blank canvas, and that's to remove this title here and this sidebar. So to do that, we're going to click over here where it says Edit Page. So from here, if we just scroll down, and where it says Content Layout, we are now going to change that to 100% full width. And we're going to go to the title over here, and we're going to click Disable. Now if we click Update, and we have a look at the site to see what that looks like, we have no title and we have no sidebar. So we have the full width of the page, and we have a full blank canvas to get started with. So we're now going to start editing the actual home page. So to do that, if you see at the top, it says Edit with Elementor. That's that plugin we got earlier. And so as you can see on the left hand side, we have all these elements. These are the things and the content that you can throw onto your website using the Elementor plugin. But to start off with, we're just going to click Add New Section here. And here is where you can select your structure. This is the little blocks that you can just throw into little one part of the page where you can then throw in the content into it. You'll pick this up along the way, but for the time being, we're just going to pick this one here. So that's one section made, and we're just going to throw in a heading straight into that. So this is our new heading, and we're going to give it some writing. So let's just type in freedom for the time being. Let's have a look here. We have size as well. You make them large, extra large, medium, and you can also align it. So I'm going to align that into the center. And of course, if we go to style, we can then change the text color. And we can also, let's have a look, typography, we could put that on as well. We can actually change the size of the writing. Okay, that real big, and you can change the weight if you wanted to maybe be the writing to be a little bit thinner, and then you can also transform it into if you wanted to all just be lowercase. You can do that if you like. I'm going to keep mine uppercase and keep that normal style and free up the space in a bit. And if we click on advanced, we can also change the margin, which we're going to do. We can actually link them together or unlink them. I'm not too sure if that's unlinked or linked, but if we could type in, if we were able to type it to one without the other, then it's not. There we go. So make sure that you're only typing in the one, and we're going to get that 200 margin from the top, just that. And then entrance animation is really nice as well. We can make it just fly in from any side of the screen. We can get it shaking in on in. We can get it to wobble on in. Then that's maybe a little bit too much. I'm just going to go with fade in down, so it just slowly just comes on in. So that's looking nice as well, but we're going to throw in a quick heading underneath it, just right there. And this is going to be like a little subtitle or subheading. So type in something. I'm going to type in, let's have a look, click on here. Freedom to do, spelling mistakes, to do what makes you happy. That's what WordPress really does. So let's just center that up. And now we can change the style of this as well. We can change the text color maybe to a dark gray or a black. And let's have a look here. Go back to style. Typography, we can have to change the size maybe, get it a little bit bigger. And maybe open up the spacing a little bit. That's about right. I think I'm happy enough with that. So whenever you're done with that, you can just click back up here to add a new widget. So the next step is we're going to just throw in a couple of buttons directly underneath this. So if you click and drag columns directly underneath that subtitle, it'll have a little blue bar. We can throw in 2 columns there. And what we're going to do with this is we're actually going to get an element called the buttons, and we're going to throw in 2 buttons into there. We'll go back and get the other one. Throw it into the other side. And we'll start editing the first one. We'll call that one Our Mission. and we're going to get that to link. So with /about. So when we click on that button, it will take us to our about page, and we're going to align that to the right, and we're now going to hit style and turn on typography. I will change the size of this to 14 pixels, and we can scroll down and we can change the colors of it normally and also when we hover over it. So first of all, we'll do the normal. We're going to change the background color. I'm going to pick that same dark green as before, and I'm going to leave the text color as it is. And we're going to keep moving on with this. Border type is fine. Yep, I'm just going to put a border radius of 5 around it. I think if we change that to 50, it'll give it a super rounded button, but I feel like 5 gives it just a rounded corners, which I like. And text padding, we can maybe change that to a 5. Not too sure about that actually. What was 500? Ooh, 50? No. 25? 20? Really not that one. So now if we go to hover, we can actually change what happens when we hover over this button. So we can maybe even get the color of the button to change. I'm going to change it to the lighter green. So we'll have a look what that looks like. So if I hover over it, it changes color to let me know that I'm hovering over that button. I actually really like that. And we're just going to have a quick look on this button one more time just to make sure everything's correct. So the style's all nice. And let's have a quick look in advanced. Margins and paddings, I feel like it could be fine. And we can put an entrance animation in, but I think that might be a little bit too much. So I'm now just going to jump on to the second one here. And I'm going to change the text of this to view our work. And the link to that is going to be /our-work. And then make sure that to align that to the left. And I'm now going to hit on style. And I'm going to turn on the typography. Change the size of this to the 14 pixels so it matches up with the other one. And I can now go down and change the background color. And there's something I'm actually going to do here. What we're going to do is change that to a white. And we're going to click on that again. And you see this little bar here? This is the transparency of it all. So we're going to put that all the way to the bottom as super transparent. And to make this a little bit easier on our eyes to see what we're actually editing, we're just going to go up here and you see these columns here where it says edit section. We're going to click on that. And now we're editing this box for the time being. We're going to click on style and then background type, it's classic. And we're going to change the color to just a darker color just so we can see what we're doing. Brilliant. So I'm now going to go back to the button. And I'm going to click on style. And I'm going to put a border on it. I'm going to put a solid border. And I'm going to put a width of 5 on that border. Maybe a 2. 2, I think, is just have a look at that. It's just about right. Maybe if I change it to a 1. A 1 I think is nice enough there. And we'll leave that as a white color. On the border radius, was that the roundedness? So to change that to 5, it should all have that roundedness to it. And we can do the same if we wanted to hover, but we've got it on transparent, so I think that's fine. So on this button, we can actually want to change the hoverness to it. And we're going to change the text color is fine, but the background color, we're actually going to make that white, but not transparent, so when we hover over it, I'm actually going to change the text color as well. That would be a bit silly. So when we hover over it, I wanted to change that green that I've been using before. Try to use the same color that you've been using before. It's always good for websites to do that. So when we hover over it, it goes white with a green text. So that means we can see it when this is now gone. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the background image. So if we just double click on this, or click it once, and then go over to style. So we're now editing this box. And we're going to just put an image into the background now to get rid of this grey thing. So just click on that, and then you can upload files here. And I've already uploaded some images already. You can get great images as well at a website called unsplash.com. I'll have it in the description below, but you can get really high quality images to use for your website, and it's completely free as well. So I'm just going to put in this one here just to see what that one looks like. So yeah, there you go, it's now in. So what you can also do here is you can change the position, and you can also change the size and attachment to it, but we're just going to concentrate on the position and the size. So at the moment this is a default, it kind of gets a good part of the screen done, and if we change that to cover, it's going to fill up as much as it can. The image is a little bit big, so it can't fill in that much, but if we just find a better position for it, center, maybe bottom center, I think I'll go for center. I think that's nice enough to get pretty much all the image I really wanted there. So if you just save, and we're just going to have a quick preview of what this looks like. So if we go back to our dashboard and then open up our site, it's starting to look a lot better, but things aren't looking too great. The color scheme isn't the greatest here. A color scheme is really important. There is plenty of websites online where you can actually find learn a lot about color schemes and what really works with each other. If you just type into your Google website color scheme, there is this website called Coolors, Coolors, and here you can actually generate a different color schemes. So I'll just show you what you can do here. So once you're here, this website here will give you your color schemes. All you have to do is you press your spacebar, and it gives you a random set. So that's kind of giving me the kind of color scheme I'm looking for. If you look at my website, it's kind of got that naturey feel, all those greens and greys. These are the colors I'm going to try and stick by. So I'm actually going to try and keep an eye on these codes, and I'm actually going to now implement them into my website. So using the stuff and the knowledge I've taught you before, I'm just going to go back and change the color scheme real quick. Hi there, so that's me back. I have just changed the color scheme of just my menu and just the font color here on the buttons, just for it to match up with the picture and not stick out like a sore thumb. But I do hope that website with the color schemes does help, and just to give you a better idea on what colors work with each other. So once we've done that, we're just actually going to go back and finish off making that home page. So just click on Edit with Elementor and get back to that Elementor page builder. So here we are. What we're going to do now is we're going to add in a new section just by that, and we're going to click on the one block structure, and there it is there. And what we're going to do here is we're going to throw in another heading, and for this title we're just going to type in, for me anyway, to make the world a better place. And we're going to align that into the center, and we'll leave the size at the moment, maybe just change it to medium, large. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll keep that large, and we're going to go to style, and we're going to give it a color. And so for the color of this, I'm going to go for one of my dark greens using my color schemer, and then that'll be fine. And I'm going to go down to advanced, and the margins, I'm now going to unlink them together so I can change them separately. And for the top, I'm going to use 50, and for the bottom, I'm going to use 50, which gives it enough space from the top and the bottom to make it, just give it enough more space. Let's have a quick look at anything else. We maybe change the font, and we'll have a look here. I think we changed the default, so we'll just leave it as that. And once you're done, just click save. And just before I finish that one off there, I'm just going to change the weight here to 300, and then click save. And we're now just going to add a new section, and this time it's going to be 3 columns. So we've got the 3 columns there, and if we go back to our little widget section, we're going to throw in an image here. And once you've put your image again, we're going to put in a text editor directly underneath, just like that. And we're going to click on the text just like that, and we're going to click on this button, the toolbar toggle, just to give us a few more options. And we're going to make sure this is aligned into the center, and we need to change the padding of this as well. So if we go to advanced and we unlink those values together, we can change the right to 20, and we can change the left to 20 as well, just to give it a little bit more space on the inside. Remember, padding is from the inside. And next, we're going to go back to the widget menu, so click that button up at the top. And we're going to use a button this time, and that's going to be underneath the text. So we'll make that into the center, and I'm also going to change the color of this to the one that matches my other ones. So yeah, like you do as you normally, just go to advanced, style, and then the background color and the text color. So I'm just going to change my settings for them now. So as you can see, I've changed my button to the brown one like I did before, and when it hovers over it, it goes into the green. It's great. So once you've done the button, what we're going to do now is duplicate this whole row into this other ones here. So to do that, if we go up onto this thing here, onto the edit column, and we're actually going to click on duplicate column, and then we're going to press it again. So we're now going to just drag the whole column and move them. We've been given too many columns, so what we're going to do is now close some of these. So remove that column, and we're going to remove this column as well. I've duplicated it as well. So now that you have 3 columns of the images, text, and 3 buttons. So we're now actually going to just choose our images that we want to put in here. So you can just click on the image thing there and choose image over here. You can actually just put in your images, so you can either choose the ones that are in your media library, or you can go to upload files, of course, and go pick whatever image you want to use. But for now, I'm just going to use some random examples here. I will just throw that trees in there, and we'll add in another one, and put in that one over there, and then this one, I will just use this one over here. So now that we've got the 3 images, we'll now start editing the text. So for the first one, this is going to be our services one. So just put a little small headline there, and then we're actually going to hover over here, and we're going to find a button that allows us to paste our text. Paste this text. There you go. We're going to click on that. So paste is now in plain text mode. So that means when you paste in text that you've copied from another place, it's not going to, like if you copied it over from Microsoft Word, it's going to try and paste in some of the settings that you used in Microsoft Word, but that won't work here. So if you click on this, you can paste anything that you like. I'm just going to get that X away so it gets out of my way. So yep, just going to paste something there, and then I'm going to change, just put a capital there to make it look a bit better, and we'll align that into the center. And services, we will change that to a heading 3, and we'll also put that in the center. And then for the next one, this will be called our work. And I've got some things copied over here. And I will paste that just underneath. Make sure that is centered. Oh, I've spelled a spelling mistake. Inspired. Make sure that's in the center. I'll make sure that is as well, because it doesn't look very centered, does it? Yeah, is that centered, is it? Oh, services is. All of it in the center, whatever. And our work, get that in the center as well. And then for the last one, I'll get that copied over there. And that's going to be our contact us. And we'll get that centered. I'll get a bit more space down there. That's annoying, isn't it? And we'll change contact us here to the heading. And we'll center it. Oh, I just made a mistake there. And our work, we'll change that to a heading 3 as well. There we go. There we go, that lines up all the images and all the buttons as well. So now we can start doing the buttons. So if we click this one, we'll give it a title as well, our services, and that will link to /services. So I'll go to our services page that we made earlier, and then we'll do the same for this one, but this one's going to be our work. I'll do the same for that one as well. And then on the our work one, that's going to be /our-work. And then last one, contact us. And then that will go to our contact page. We'll call it contact, or we call it contact us. Ooh, I've lost the image. I'll put that back. So yeah, I think it's just contact. I'm doing it again. Right, so make sure the link says /contact or contact us, whatever it is that you did, and then click save. So that's that little bit section now done. And so now if we go down here where it says add new section, and we're going to add 2. And what we're going to do here is just going to change the color of that. So we're just going to click on edit section for that section, go to style and classic background type, and we're just going to give it a grey color, a little light grey, just a little light grey. And then if we go to advanced, and we're going to be changing these margins, so unlink them. So this is going to be 50, and that's going to be left at 0. Right, so once you've done that, we're going to be changing this, so unlink this, the padding, and that's going to be 40 on the top and 40 on the bottom. So that gives us a bit more space, and we're going to throw in a widget now, and it's going to be a heading. So yep, drag a heading in there, and this is going to say our work. Ooh, not typing anything there. And we're going to be going to style, turning on typography. And we're going to put the size up a bit to maybe like 34, and line height we're going to put that to 0.7. So we're just going to go to advanced, and then from here we're going to unlink the margins, and we're just going to change the top to 20. And once you've done that, we're just going to go back to the wee widget thing, and now we're going to throw in a text editor underneath our work. Just underneath on it. There we go. And here we're just going to change the text to something else here. We're going to make sure it says the paste as text as well, and we'll delete all that. So now I'm just going to type in some "we believe actions speak louder than words." And we can of course change this text whatever we like. We could center it or align it to the left. And we'll probably align it to the left. And we can change the font color and all of that as well. So here we're going to go back to the add element page, and we're actually going to throw in the columns into this section here. So now we can have 2 buttons here. That's what the plan is. But we're just going to go into style and advanced there, and we're just going to give it a margin. So for the margin here, we're just going to unlink the values, and we're just going to put in a 27 there in the top. Other than that, that's fine. So we're going to go back to add element, and we're going to throw in a button here. And we're going to change the text on this to be, so this button is going to have, we're going to change the text of that, and that's going to say our services. And that's of course going to link to our services page, and we'll align that to the right, and we're going to go to style and turn typography on, and we're just going to change the size to about 16 pixels, and we will go down, and we're of course going to change the background color to one that we've been using before, and we're going to change, scroll down, get rid of this. Border radius, we're actually going to put on 5 for all of that, just give it that rounded edge like before. And we should really do the same for them ones as well. And now, yep, that's that one done, so we can add another element. So now we're just going to throw in the second button here, and of course it's change it to that. And we'll just check out our work. And our link is going to go to our work page, so /our-work. Maybe align that to the left, that's fine. And style, we're just going to turn typography on. And pixel size seems to be fairly fine at the moment. We'll just change it just to match up. I think it was 16 before, wasn't it? Or maybe a little bit more. But try to make sure that they're all the same size. And we're just going to go down here. And I'm actually going to change the background color to be completely transparent. And I'm going to change the text color to be that green. And text padding, I'm going to change that to 5. I'm just going to double check how big that one is. 16. I'll change that one to 16 as well. Oh, it is 16. That was pretty good. Oh yeah, and we're going to give it a border type as well. So we're going to put that as a solid line. And we're going to make that 1. Border radius, we'll make that a 5. Text padding, I should remove that text padding. There we go. That's what I did wrong. It was the border radius that needs to be 5, not the text padding. Text padding, just leave that as it is. So the buttons are the same size. So once you're done with that, just click save.